Hello and welcome if you're new to my channel, and if you're a subscriber, a warm welcome back. I'm Anesu Sagonda and I manage a luxury lifestyle management business in London. My content is largely educationally focused and geared towards people who are typically new to money or keen to explore alternate mid-lux or super brands that are a little under the radar but still very much weighted on quality. Today's video is going to be a little different from my usual, but I hope fun nonetheless. Last week was an insanely busy week for me, and halfway through the week I started losing focus and I was feeling down because a lot of my time critical deadlines that had to be met by the end of the week were being affected by the pandemic, and there was nothing I could do but literally just sit and wait. And as a way of staying focused and motivated until everything had been completed at the end of the week, I thought, why don't I treat myself to something nice at the end of the week? And I'm somebody who's very big on experiences, and really good, well-made food rates highly. And I thought, why don't I treat myself to a slap-up takeaway? But the question was, which one? And about a month ago, I started noticing a lot of really tantalizing pictures flying around on Instagram with people showing off their Claridges Fried Chicken. And these pictures piqued my interest because Claridges Fried Chicken is made by a restaurant called Davies and Brook. And Davies and Brook is the latest restaurant to take up residency in Claridges. And for those of my viewers who are outside London, Claridges is one of London's most iconic hotels, and Davies and Brook was the biggest and best restaurant opening in London for 2019. And it's a restaurant that's owned by a chef called Daniel Hume. And Daniel Hume, 25 years ago, did part of his early chef training at Claridges, so he has pretty much come full circle. But bear with me, this is all going to make sense. Daniel also owns another restaurant, and this restaurant is called 11 Madison Park in New York. It's a 3 Michelin starred restaurant, and it is arguably the best restaurant in New York. It has won numerous accolades, and one of them being the best restaurant in the world in 2017. And it's a fine dining establishment right at the top end of the market. And what I really like about it and resonates with me is the fact that they have taken the stuffiness away from fine dining, and they've made it incredibly approachable and fun. Their motto is make it nice. Make it nice in terms of experience for the customer, but also make it nice in terms of the working environment for the employees. And as somebody who likes really, really good food, it's absolutely important that wherever I eat, they have even better service. If you don't have good service, it's an absolute deal breaker. And 11 Madison Park are absolutely exemplary for that. And so when I heard that Daniel was opening his first European outpost in London, for me it was a no-brainer. I had to try it because Davies and Brook is coming from very good provenance. And it seemed an obvious choice. The pictures were flying around. What I know of the 2 restaurants, I thought, you know what, I have to try the Claridges Fried Chicken. And I thought, why don't I actually show my viewers the chicken? It's fried chicken at the very top end of the market. I don't know any other restaurant in London doing something similar. Fried chicken is very much dominated by the likes of Kentucky Fried Chicken for the mass market. But you have quite a few restaurants that are doing really well in London, like Mother Clucker, you have Red Rooster, you have Clutch, you have Bird, who are offering fried chicken to a more discerning audience, and they've raised the profile of it in terms of how they prepare it and serve it. But right at the top end, putting the fine dining twist, it's Davies and Brook. So I just want to show you, my viewers, what a serving for one of fried chicken looks like from Claridges. It costs £35, and I'm just going to show you everything from the packaging, how it's presented to you. As you know, we're going through a pandemic, so it's all takeaway. There's no sitting in at the moment, but it's how it's presented to you in terms of the takeaway, the look, the packaging, what you get for the £35, and most of all, what does it taste like? So the takeaway comes in this really nice Claridges bag. I went to pick it up. You can either do delivery or takeaway. I did takeaway. So I popped in, picked up my package, and it comes in this really nice bag, nice material, handles as well. So it's something you can use again and again. I really like it because of the lining. Look at this is just the cutlery, but look at the lining on the inside. It's really nice, really snazzy. And they also include cutlery in these little bags, which obviously complement the inside as well. So in the cutlery, you just get teaspoon, fork and knife, small white utensils. But then I would have preferred something a little more sturdy, but it is takeaway and it's meant to be eaten at home. They give you instructions for you to warm it up. You can have the chicken cold. They were also doing it's called boiled lobster, and that had to be cooked from home, whereas this is actually cooked through the chicken, and then you can either warm it up at home or just have it cold. They were kind enough to warm it up for me because I wanted to eat it in Mount Street Gardens. And Mount Street Gardens I mentioned when I walked through Mount Street and just talked you through the brands and the area. I'm going to link that video in this video so you can just reacquaint yourself with Mount Street, and in particular Mount Street Gardens, where I mentioned it's a great place for meetings, to relax, buy coffee, lunch, and you just sit in the grounds and just enjoy yourself. It's very quiet as well. So I've taken the box out. So the takeaway comes in a box that I can best describe as a cake box. So it comes in, it's taped down, and on the front of the box is a card. And I've just taken the card off, and that card is addressed directly to me. And then the front of the box is Davies and Brooke to go. And the card I really like because the font that they've used, I wonder if this is actually written. This is actually written, the Anesu is written, but the rest of the font in the takeaway, you'll notice the font they've used makes it out as if it's handwritten. So it's a lot more personal, and it's as if it was made especially for you, which it was. And the card, Davies and Brooke, dear Anesu, thank you so much for ordering our to-go box in our last weekend. As we close this chapter, we can only say thank you. We can't wait to welcome you to our restaurant. Until then, we hope our CFC will make the wait a little bit more pleasant. Much love, Davies and Brooke. Really, really nice touch. And you charged £35 for this meal, so these are some of the things that I expect, that it's really personal. The card to me, the font that they've used, it's perfect. It's not just a font, but they've actually thought about the font. What does the font say? So I'm just going to lay everything out and then just go through everything individually and just talk you through it. But essentially this is the box with your takeaway, and then you get the Parker House roll. So it's a freshly made brioche roll baked on site. You've got the card in the pack, you've got the cutlery I have in my bag, and then you also have really nice instructions, and it says, hello, read me. And essentially they're taped on the inside of the box. So I removed them from the inside, they were over here. And the instructions just detail exactly what it is that they've included. An ingredients list, obviously for safety reasons, with people, issues with nuts and dairy and things like that. Cooking instructions. The chicken can come cold. It has been cooked through, but you can warm it up or have it cold. I opened it and just let it cool down. So I had it whilst it was hot. It was nice. I've also had it cold. It's also still as nice. So don't feel hard done by whether you have it hot or cold. It's nice whichever way. And all the containers that the food is in is compostable. So you can dispose of all of it in a very environmentally friendly way. So I'm just going to lay the food out and then just talk you through everything. So here's the food all laid out. I'm going to work my way around clockwise. So I'm going to kick off with the brioche roll in the middle. So this roll, it's the Parker House roll. It's a brioche roll. It's very subtly sweetened, and then the top contrasts with a really hard salty crust. Mix that with the very subtly sweetened brioche. It's really soft. It almost like melts in your mouth. So it's really nice the way it's made. You just tear it and eat as you go along. And then the three salads, largely savory. The sweet, subtly sweet is the sweet corn one, which has the mushroom. But the first one, and I really like this, I've never had a potato salad like this, but it's new potatoes, crushed new potatoes with olives, you've got onions, you have the mustard seeds, and the mustard seeds are really nice because they almost burst and melt in your mouth. That's a really nice take on a potato salad, and I like the fact that they've done a potato salad as opposed to fries or wedges or some version of chips, but they've gone for these three sides, which are really nice light summer salads to go well with the fried chicken, the sweet corn with the mushrooms, and then you've got the chickpeas and parmigiana. Chickpeas, a very distinct flavor. The parmigiana just adds very subtly to it. It just complements it. But these three sides go very well together in terms of the colors, the textures, the flavors. They're very well thought out. I mean, what do you expect? From an institution of this caliber, everything has been thought through. And then throw into that mix these pickles, the cauliflower and carrots. I've never had pickles like that. Usually pickles are quite distinct, very sharp. You put them in your mouth and sometimes you actually gasp. But these are very subtly pickled, and they're still quite, there's just a subtle sweetness which I really like, and it complements the rest of the meal. If you look at the labeling, again, the text looks like it's been handwritten. All part of that whole personal element has been made especially for you. And then the chicken, the piece de resistance, you've got the chili lime yogurt to go with it, and then the chicken itself. I had it when it was still hot, and then I've had it now cold as it has cooled down. And both ways, it's really nice. You can have it cold as it's cooked through, or you can warm it up as instructed if you prefer. But whichever way, it's nice. The chicken is very soft. It's flavorful. I like the coating they've put. So you've got flavor coming in from what they've coated, but you can tell the chicken itself is flavorful. I mean, at the very least, it must be free range, if not organic. I mean, a restaurant of this caliber, the quality of the chicken, you can really taste the difference between, for example, I remember my student days gorging on Kentucky, and you're like, is this really chicken? But this is very different. It is deep fried. You don't taste the fat at all. You don't see it. You don't feel it. It has been very, very well drained. You'd almost think it was baked, but it's still very nice. Fried food is very nice, but this is absolutely delicious. 10 out of 10 for the flavor, for the coating itself on top. It's still very soft. It's not, I wouldn't say juicy, but it's not at all dry. It's just perfect. And then the dessert, raspberry with vanilla cheesecake, and it has the little chocolate balls on top, which are really nice. They're crunchy, and it just adds to it adds a nice little difference to the rest of the dessert. But I also tried the other dessert that they did as an alternative to this. So they switched every couple of weeks. It was the chocolate and passion fruit. I'll insert a picture. But both these desserts, what stands out about them is the fact that they're not overly sweet or unnaturally sweet. They are just as I would imagine. There has been sugar added, but it's minimal, just to draw out the flavors. But they are very nice. I've eaten them at room temperature. They've been out for more than 30 minutes, out of the fridge for more than 30 minutes, but they're really nice. The raspberries are big and plump and sweet, and the coulis is just perfect. It works together with the rest of the meal. But overall, I like the containers. They're all compostable, so they can be disposed of in an environmentally friendly manner. They look small, the containers look small on camera, but in reality, when you look at all of it, it is filling. I didn't feel like I needed something else. The brioche was just a nice addition, the bread. The dessert was just a good size, so it just finished off the rest of the meal. The pickle was the highlight for me in terms of it was just different, but it brought it all together nicely in terms of the actual meal itself. And the chicken was fantastic. Would I pay £35 again? In a heartbeat. It's worth every bit in terms of the experience. When you look at the packaging, the way it's been put together, the personal font, the card given to you, the instructions, the taste of it, the different flavors, the different ingredients that they used. It has been well thought out and well executed. It is worth every last bit of the £35. If they do it again, I would do it. Would I go to Claridges now and have it at the bar? Because they do serve the Claridges Fried Chicken at the bar, and the bar's walk-in, so you don't need a reservation. So if you want it, it's just a case of waiting and you can have it. But it's a very good meal, well thought out, well put together, 10 out of 10. Well done, Davies and Brooke. A sophisticated, tasty and grown-up take on a meal that tends to be quite basic. Daniel, your chicken was absolutely scrumptious. Thank you. And I look forward to working my way through the rest of your well-considered menu. And to my viewers, as always, thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Take care.